Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leader in rushing, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on Packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Tim in Green Bay, here to bring you guys a continuation of Victory Monday as Victory Monday rolls on, talking about the Packers' 28-21 victory over the Chicago Bears at Lambeau Field. Man, we've got all kinds of good stuff to dive into. I know the chat is already lit up. I want to thank everybody for supporting the channel. It's been a big day for the channel. Everybody showed up in force, the live streams, the videos, watching them later, hitting that like button, all that good stuff. We greatly, greatly appreciate everyone. And, of course, everyone who's listening to the show in podcast form as well. Tonight, Tim, what we're going to dive into is on the McAfee show today, they were, it's overreaction Monday, right? On the McAfee show. And then you get some positives, some negatives, a whole lot of funny in between, man. Bears fans are in meltdown mode. We'll hit a couple of those and have a good laugh at the Bears fans' expenses. We'll also talk Jordan Love versus Caleb Williams and that performance as the PFF grades have dropped. We'll also dive into the offensive PFF grades, kind of show you which players played really, really well in that win over the Chicago Bears. And then we'll dive into the defensive side of things with PFF. Then we'll wrap up with another clip there from the McAfee show talking about this Packers defense and how solid they are. So that's what we got on tap. Before we do, if you guys would do that YouTube stuff for us, hit like, hit subscribe. If this is your first time tuning into PTA, welcome. Thank you for making us a part of your evening. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media members. We're fans just like you talking Packers on a daily basis. So if you're looking for that type of content, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and especially click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live throughout the day, where in many cases we go live just randomly throughout the day, news breaks, things like that. That way you'll get a notification sent right to your phone. Oh, crap, what are they talking about? You can jump right in here and chat with us. So that is the plan here moving forward. Tim, how you doing, big dog? How's this Victory Monday been? Look, we already got us a Bears fan in here. Look at this. Bear down, he says. All right. Good luck with that, bub. Good luck with that. How you doing, Tim?
Doing good, man. Victory Monday rolls on, you know. Can't wait to be back playing against the Bears here in just a few weeks. Got to handle business in Denver first, and then don't worry, Chicago. We'll make a trip down and put belt to ass again for you.
Yeah, and you know what I love about it too is I'm trying to think of how I could say this. Matt LaFleur today, his reaction was absolutely perfect. He handled the whole Ben Johnson talking trash before he even coached the damn ball game. He handled that, perfect as well. But today it was, he was asked something along the lines, or it was during the post game yesterday, something along the lines of the comments, this, that, and it. No, I don't mean anything. We'll see him again in 2 weeks. Like he's already, I know what he's thinking. I think he's going to wait until after they potentially beat the Bears. And again, just so everybody knows, full disclosure here, I think they'll split. I think the Packers won this one. I think the Bears will potentially win the one in Chicago. But boy, oh boy, if they drop that one in Chicago, I think Matt's queued up to go. Yeah, it was nice going 2-0 against Ben Johnson this year. Like, I think that's what's on tap. That's why he's just keeping it close to the vest and keeping it zipped. So I hope our Bears fan that was just in here hangs around for a second, because this next segment, Tim, it's going to be for him, man.
Rent free, man. You know they're going to hang around, Clay.
Good deal. Whether they say they're in here or not, we know they're always in here. That's for sure. So.
Bates hits it on the head. Worth noting that Mr. John Frank, Mr. Bear Down himself, has been wrong on all of his predictions.
Love it. Absolutely love it. We got us a super chat here too. Howling Whataburger with the super chat. Thank you so much. Do you all think Christian Watson might be in the comeback player of the year conversation, or has he missed too much time this year? We talked about this a few weeks ago, Howling, and the big conversation was, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, was, but Daniel Jones, big comeback year. I went, oh, you're right. Quarterback trumps everything. But Daniel Jones is now out for the year. We may be looking at a Christian Watson comeback player of the year, right? If that's what he means there, the CPOY, I'm sure that's what he means, right, Tim?
Yeah, I think that's what that means. Yeah. I would think that regardless of the fact that, Scoot didn't really get a full year under his belt, but look at the output since he's hit the field. And I'm sure that's just going to continue. So I think he belongs in the conversation. Aiden Hutchinson in Detroit's probably at the top of that list, considering how mangled his leg was last year. So he would be another candidate, but I could see Scoot being in the mix for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see how the rest of his season unfolds, because he is on one right now. We'll talk about his PFF grade when we get into the offensive side of things. But Howling, thank you so much for that super chat. Tim, give me a Ben Johnson grab, man. Let's jump right into this, dude. I'm excited to talk about this. So on the McAfee show today, it was Overreaction Monday. You guys can go find this on Twitter, as I had retweeted it out from the McAfee show over on X. And they were reading the Overreaction Monday tweets from pretty much every fan base across the league that sent these in, right? Now, I want to say this, as always, there's probably language in this, okay? So if you got kids in a room, be aware, be ready to turn it down. You guys know sometimes there's no language in these videos. Other times they may drop an F-bomb or two. So just, again, be prepared. But here was the McAfee show earlier today, and them reading a tweet from at J Mansion, I think is the name. And of course, they hit the hashtag I don't want to overreact, but we'll just play the clip and let it unfold. We'll pause it in between and get our takes on it. Tim, this is gold. This is the Bears fan base in a nutshell after getting their asses kicked by the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. Here we go.
Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but good or goodest. Give it a damn rest. The Bears are frauds, and history will tell the rest of this franchise is satisfied with having the one ring 40 years ago. The team has been going down ever since. If you want to be happy, don't be a fan of the Chicago frauds. Doesn't believe in
the fan base already calling them frauds. Tim, last week they were talking about how they were coming in Lambeau to take care of business, and they were going to prove that this team was the real deal going on to win a Super Bowl here. And just hours later, they're calling themselves frauds. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Periods.
Go ahead.
I mean, what else do we expect, right? I mean, this is, like I said, new franchise quarterback every couple of years, new delusions of grandeur every year. And they double down on lunacy. It's actually fun to watch. Get your popcorn out.
Yeah. And Kieran in the chat, hey, Packers fan, am I the only one who saw all the national media coverage on how great the Bears were and downplaying our win? It's funny. They went from the Bears are going to run the North. They finally cut the corner. They're going to knock the Packers off. That was the chatter all week long. And now they're just a little bit off. They got just a hair. It's going to take another year. What happened to all that energy? What happened to all the energy that these Bears were the real deal, and they're going to prove that they're the real deal? They proved they were the real deal against the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mason Rudolph. Give me a break. Anyway, let's continue here.
Or anything like that, which I can really respect, especially because he capitalized letters too, or maybe his phone or whatever was typing for him said, hey, this is probably the start of a new fucking sentence. I'm going to capitalize this T for you. I appreciate the smartphone doing that. On that note, what did you like so much about this that made you pick this?
Well, I just had to go through first and make sure that he was an actual Bears fan, and he is, but it was tough.
Ty Schmidt, the Packer fan, just cross-checking, confirming, okay, this ain't a Packers fan troll, and this is a guy who had a legit Bears account and has been tweeting about the Bears for a long time. You love it.
Because it's weird because Bears fans have been very, very vocal, very, very chirpy every other Overreaction Monday. Then they get beat and no one wants to put one out. And, usually when you get beat, that's the perfect time to do it because you can really go crazy. But I seriously couldn't find I figured the consensus would be like, hey, we're fine. This team is the best Bears team we've had in a long time. We're going to be good. But not a lot of those out there. Most of the ones I did see were negative. And it kind of was like, hey, this was our opportunity to really show that we are the kings in the North like we've been touting all year. And we got beat. So we'll see. We're going to have
Ty was searching for one. Did you hear him?
I was.
He wasn't letting the game come to him. He said, I think there'd be probably some good responses here from the Chicago.
I figured there would be. And it's not just them. So I don't want to, kind of just put this on Bears fans. Like this happens more than I think it should. You can't come in and be talking a whole bunch of shit when your team loses or when your team wins. And then when they lose, you just go radio silent. Because personally, I think that's the best time. That's when your best shit comes out. Like that's when you can actually kind of let loose. And, we got a lot of fan bases that just don't want to do that.
Oh, they don't.
Isn't it hilarious how that works, Tim? Again, man, we got so many bookmarks. And what I like doing now is taking those bookmarks and putting that tweet side by side, throwing in a screenshot and tweeting it back out. I'm like, what happened? You were saying this was a slam dunk win for the Bears. Now all of a sudden we knew they didn't have really a chance against the Packers, and it's going to be about coming back to Chicago. The Packers don't stand a chance in Chicago in 2 weeks, which is hilarious because we have owned that building for how long, Tim? Decades?
Yeah, the better part of a decade at least, going back, if memory serves me correct. I'm trying to think of the last time we caught an L at Soldier Field.
Yeah, been a long time. Let's continue.
They don't want to turn their back on their teams. I kind of respect that.
I don't take it that way. I think it's kind of what people are saying about Notre Dame is, we got beat. I'm going to take my ball and go home. And then next week when we win, I'll say, fuck you, Super Bowl's back on. There's a lot of that. And I just, I don't think it should
Was
be
that
that way.
Shane Gillis right there?
No. Does it sound like him?
They go on a little Notre Dame bit. Tim, I thought it was hilarious, though, man, that the fact that these fans all of a sudden now they're calling their team frauds. It happened that quick. And we've kind of become accustomed to it here with the Chicago Bears fan base because, again, every offseason, they've usually got this energy in the offseason, right? And then when you get into the season, it reality starts to set in, and then it becomes about, well, we weren't really ready this year. Next year is going to be the year. And then they get to May and June and July, and it's, oh, my God, this Bear. I mean, we've been hearing this since Mitch Trubisky,
Oh, yeah.
It's been that long. It's just wild to think about. What's your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, I mean, it's not all Bears fans, right? There's always the selected few in every fan base that kind of sees it clearly, and they're willing to admit when they're wrong, or they just, don't put themselves out there making sweeping statements that are going to allow them to get dunked on later in the first place. So I don't think it's the entire fan base, but yeah, everyone's kind of got their own view on things. But I respect the guys more that own their opinion, even if they're wrong. I mean, look how many times we're wrong. We're wrong on the show all the time. We own it. You're not going to hear us walking it back or making excuses. So I think it's just that portion of the fan base. I mean, we've got Packer fans that behave very similarly, right, Clay?
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. That's a fact. Nick McSwain, LaFleur undefeated in Soldier Field. You love to see it, man. Love to see it. We got Caldwell Corner here. So many bookmarks that now say post is unavailable because the Bears fans don't want the smoke. Isn't it funny how that works, man? I'm sure it's just a technical glitch on X's side, that
Sure.
the tweet just won't pull up. So.
Yeah, it's just not loading or something. Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. All right, so there you go, guys. Just a little look into the Bears fans having a complete meltdown. And again, what would I be saying if the Packers had lost? I'd be going, guys, we lost by 7 points. It's not that big of a deal. Learn from it, reset, watch the tape, make the adjustment to the scheme, the game plan, be prepared for them next time. Bears fans are, oh my God, the sky is falling. So just absolutely love it. And John Frank says here in the chat, Pack Nation all over ESPN Chicago. There was someone that posted something earlier in our chat. Tim, it might have been in Patreon. Somebody posted a clip of a Chicago YouTube channel that were extremely pissed off at Packer fans, and they were putting FGB everywhere because they were just throwing their little temper tantrum. I didn't know if it was in our text or it might have been actually been on our Patreon group over here at PTA, but yeah, absolutely awesome. So
they yell FGB walking out of Wrigley Field during Cubs games or at a Bulls game. They yell that. That's a Chicago thing. Like, they celebrate their own win in a completely unrelated sport against a completely unrelated team by saying F Green Bay. So, the rivalry is the oldest in the league for a reason. It runs deep. The hatred is real, obviously.
Yeah. Andy Dubs in the chat says Bears fans already saying they've won against the Browns. Let them keep saying it, Andy. I'm telling you, man, they're going to go out there with that offense, and the Browns are going to have a little something for them on defense. That's what's going to happen. I'm telling you. Now, will the Browns win? Who knows? Their offense has been kind of cheeks all year long. But I'm telling you right now, man, that defense is legit. So they're not going to be able to go there and just run the ball right down the throat and just push the Browns defense around. I think if they're smart, what they'll do is just keep it close, let the Browns offense make the mistake. Although Shadir Sanders is going to have an opportunity to upset the Bears in that game as well. Probably give you guys a preview of that. Maybe even try to do some kind of watch party if we don't have a game going on at the same time for that. But yeah, so if you guys are watching this video back later, let us know in the comments. I want to know some of the best comments that you guys have heard from Bears fans today. It could be an excuse. It could be the sky's falling. Doesn't matter. Let us know in the comments what you think about the Bears fan base and how they're reacting to this loss to the Green Bay Packers. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you're notified when we do go live in the near future. All right, let's talk about this quarterback matchup we just watched unfold here, Tim. As obviously you had Jordan Love against Caleb Williams, and once again, just like the Bears fans do every other time, going into that week, going into that game, boy, they were confident, were they not? They were. It was, EPA is a fake stat, right? Yeah, look at the all they wanted to talk about was the record, right? 7-3. If you guys didn't see Ryan's rap that he put out when they were 7-3, absolutely hilarious. Had AI create a song of an overweight Bears fan rapping that were 7-3. Good stuff there. Make sure you go check that out. Probably got it on his YouTube channel. He definitely had it on his X account as well, at Pack_Daddy. But now you lay the tread to the asphalt here, Tim. You actually get these two quarterbacks on the same field together, right? And here was the result. And we're going to get into all the PFF grades here in a minute. Jordan Love finished this game with a 90.4 PFF grade in Week 14 with that victory over the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams finished with a 60.6, while, might I add, he threw the game-ending interception in the end zone on a 4th-and-1 play, right? Jordan Love, it's not even close. It's not. I can't even believe we're having a conversation about it, but it's not even close. Jordan Love is so much better than Caleb Williams, it's not even funny. And I know there's going to be Bears fans that say, well, of course he is. You've been in the league long. Of course, then stop pretending like Caleb has more talent than Jordan Love. There may come a day that Caleb is a better quarterback than Jordan. I don't see it. But until that day, stop coming in here talking trash. Stop jumping on X, talking all that smack, and then turn around as soon as you get your butts kicked. And, well, he doesn't have as much experience. Or I love how they like to pretend like Jordan Love has been, where he's been in the league for however many years as if he's been playing that whole time, knowing he was sitting on the bench. So with that being said, that's a story for a different day, right? Allowing your quarterback to actually sit behind a Hall of Famer. I mean, you can't do that if you don't have Hall of Fame quarterbacks in Chicago, which when was the last time that happened, right? When was the last time? Right. It would have been, right, Tim? It would have had to be so. Yeah.
I believe so.
Because I don't think, last I checked, I don't think Jay Cutler made the finalists.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. So with that being said, to me, it's not even close. How do you see this Jordan Love, Caleb Williams, man? It's wild to think that they're still trying to hang on to hope. I think today it's a lot more quiet, though, Tim. I think they're starting to realize, a good portion of the fan base starting to realize, the Packer fans told us this all week, that you guys are just looking at touchdowns and interceptions and the win-loss record. And Packer fans have been going, when you look at the important metrics, it'll show you how bad Caleb's playing. And then Ben Johnson comes out and stuck his foot in his mouth early in the week and said, yeah, we're winning in spite of our passing game.
Get ready to go.
Unbelievable there, right? So, again, I think they're starting to come to the realization, okay, and again, we said it last week. I think Solder said it in the chat. I think Bates said it in the chat. We had a discussion about it. It scares me a little bit to think about if the Bears actually had a good quarterback. It might have even been Mike here that just do a super chat in. If they had a decent quarterback, they'd be solid right now. I mean, they would be in a much better situation. But how do you see this Jordan Love, Caleb Williams? Man, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put Jay Love and where would you put Caleb, with 10 being the best rating there?
Well, I'm giving Jay Money the 10.
Why is that?
Because he only throws dimes. And I think, let's be real. I mean, if you
by 10 yards.
Oh, that guy alone, Clay. Haven't heard from him either, though. That's good. But I think if you look, I mean, even if you look at the progression, it's a valid argument. Caleb was a rookie last year, right? This is his second year as a starter in the league. But if you took 2 years as Jordan's year 2, and the progression that he was at in his development compared to Caleb's, I think it's night and day. And certainly where they're at right now, I'd put Caleb somewhere around 5 or 6 on the scale. And I'm gonna give Jay Money the dime, the number 10 for sure.
There you go. I think that's a very, very fair grade for Caleb Williams, somewhere around 5 or 6.
Yep.
And again, he's improved from last year. That's how bad he was last year. But still, you see, as Mike says here with the super chat, thank you, Mike. He says Ben doesn't even trust Caleb to run a drop back game at all.
So true.
How many times did you see? I mean, they passed what was 60? It was like 67% of their passes yesterday was all play action. And then when he wasn't running play action, it was sprint right, sprint left option type plays. Like they do not trust him to take a 3 or a 5-step drop and read the 1, the 2 to the 3, or read the high to the low, or pick a side. They don't trust him to do any of that.
And that's what'll kill your career in the NFL. It doesn't matter how much athletic ability or arm talent you have. If you can't read a D, and you can't play within a system, you're not gonna play for very long.
Yeah, absolutely. Fishy, and thank you for the super chat, Mike. Appreciate you, buddy. Fishy Things says here in the chat. Let me get that off there real quick. He says in the chat, Caleb's elite scrambling skills put him above average. I completely agree with that.
That's why I said 5 or 6. I figured 5 would be in the middle, right? You maybe give him a 6 because of the ability, mobility factor with him.
Yeah. And again, if you're drafting guys to be an elite runner at the quarterback position, show me the last time that panned out for a team, right? Because Jalen Hurts is not a bad passer. Caleb Williams is a bad passer, right? His accuracy is cheats. He is a bad passer. Jalen Hurts has improved his game to where he became a solid, a very efficient quarterback, at least on that Super Bowl run last year. With Caleb, you just haven't seen it at all. I mean, it is really bad. You'll see the occasional lasers he'll throw, and we know he's got arm strength. But yeah, I completely agree, Fishy Things. The way I like to grade quarterbacks, if you remove their ability to scramble, if the NFL changed the rules tomorrow and said you're not allowed to scramble, you're not allowed to scramble at all, how would you grade that quarterback? That matters to me more than how he grades out with the scrambling ability, if that makes sense. So we got Jacob joining us now. Jacob, we're just talking a little Jordan Love versus Caleb Williams here. I put a tweet out earlier. The PFF grades are in this Week 14 matchup. Jordan Love, a 90.4 PFF grade. Caleb Williams, a 60.6. Is there anything you'd like to add to this conversation before we move along to the next topic, sir?
Yeah, no, I was listening to you guys on the way home. Again, put some respect on Jordan Love's name. I mean, it's just becoming a little bit ridiculous. You can almost look at every single metric. I actually got into a fight with my best friend's 10-year-old kid who, for some reason, went down the dark side and is a Vikings fan. And
wait. Did you just say you got in a fight with a 10-year-old, Jacob?
Oh yeah, I almost hit him. Yeah. I'll hit a kid. I'm not above it.
There goes the algae.
No, but he's trying to sit there and, like, honestly, it's not just him. We got some other group chat. You guys remember, if you guys used to watch the fantasy podcast that we used to do, we had Bad Luck Paul, who was our, just resident Vikings fan, aka the loser. And he was, he's trying to talk a lot of smack, saying that Jordan Love is not a top 3, if not a top 2, not a top 1 quarterback. You can look at any single metric right now, and he is top 3, top 5, if not top 1. So I just think that it needs to be kind of dealt with, and people just it stinks because they just feel like that they can't accept the fact that we went from Favre to Rodgers to now Jordan Love throwing dimes. Why, Tim? Because he wears what?
Number 10, baby.
Here we go. Just saying.
Kieran in the chat, Caleb's running around as a quarterback is only going to last so long. It's so true.
Exactly.
And the clock is ticking for Caleb to learn how to become a passer. And I'm telling you, Ben Johnson, that's only going to last so long. If they go in, you remember Ben Johnson set a preseason goal for Caleb Williams to be 70% completion percentage, right?
Yeah.
Caleb is not even to 55% last I checked. The adjusted completion percentage is a little higher, but it's way worse on the rankings. So with that being said, if they finish this year out and Caleb is under 60% completion percentage, and then they come out next year and he starts at under 60% again, Ben Johnson is going to run his ass off. That's what's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. And I'm telling you, it's going to be glorious, although we know as soon as they get another quarterback, Bears fans will once again pop up and move the goalposts and say, no, this is the guy. This is the real guy this time. That's how it always tends to happen. So completely agree, Kieran. It's going to run out of time sooner or later. So, again, there you go. A little Jordan Love versus Caleb Williams. Just want to make sure if you got any Bears fans out there that there you go. United Bates, thank you, buddy. Caleb is currently 57.8% completion percentage. Yuck. So let us know in the comments what you think if you're watching this back later. Jordan Love and Caleb Williams. I mean, I don't think there's anybody who's in their right mind that would pick Caleb Williams over Jordan Love if you had to pick between those two quarterbacks right now. But man, it better get better quick or Caleb is going to be out of Chicago. I mark my words. Am I the only ones that sees that with Ben Johnson on his face? Like, he wears his emotions on his sleeves a little bit. He tries to be the stone cold, but you see it, the rolling of the eyes, the throwing the head back and everything. He can tell Caleb is not a good quarterback.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I do think, I mean, I'm not trying to by any means defend Caleb Williams here, but it is his first year in this system. So he's got a new kind of scheme, new plan. Yeah, the future does not look bright. And I think Chicago would just as soon bail on another quarterback before they bail on this head coach that they took a chance on. So I think you're right, Clayton. I think Caleb would be gone before Ben Johnson is.
Yeah, definitely got lesser of a leash than Ben Johnson, that's for sure, man. But again, if you get rid of Caleb eventually, that means Ryan Poles is gone, and I don't want to even think about that, Dave, because I love the fact that Ryan Poles is
extend Poles, extend him. Yeah,
absolutely. So,
they did, didn't they?
I think they did.
Didn't he sign an extension? Was it last year?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nice.
And I celebrated. I popped the champagne. I was like, let's do this. You kidding me?
Yeah, that's my second favorite poll. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, we do, Jacob. Yes, we do. So if you guys are watching this video back,
too old for this. Of course you aren't defending Caleb, Tim. You aren't holding anyone. Oh, I love it.
Oh, man. Here, we got one more super chat before we wrap up. Jason Weiss says, well, with the nail painting emoji. Who would have thought the team with the logo shaped like a toilet seat still sucks? So, appreciate you, Jason. Appreciate it. If you guys are watching this video back later, let us know what you think about Jordan Love's performance over Caleb Williams. I know it was a glorious thing in the Bailey household. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. All right, let's shift gears. Let's talk a little PFF grade. Jacob, I was telling Tim, I'm not going to put the grades on the screen. I can read them off to you guys, and maybe you guys have access to them too. But we'll just kind of go through it. I want to try to get used to not doing this, putting it up on the screen and just kind of keeping us up here. We'll see if it works out. But we're going to start on offense here with the offensive PFF grades. All right. So obviously the Packers get the 28-21 victory. They won the middle 8, 7-3. Turnover differential ended up 1-1. Again, we talked about this. If you win one of those two, you're probably coming out with the dub in this game. The fact that they were able to tie the turnover differential, obviously with the Keyshawn Nixon interception there at the end of the game, kind of tied up the turnover differential, and then you win the middle 8, so you're going to come out on top. You guys remember when I started talking about that on the show? Y'all remember? Had y'all ever heard about the middle 8 before you heard me talk about it on the show?
Never.
Many people say no when I ask them that, and it's not. I'm not trying to lead. It's just most people say no. You're hearing it all over different broadcasts now. And it's not because these broadcasts heard it from me. It's because people are actually studying the game more, and they're realizing that's a crucial point in the game. Holy cow. Like, I heard it during the college football week last week where the announcer said, we talked to Coach so-and-so before halftime, and he said, we got to come out in the third quarter and try to win this middle 8. And I was like, finally, somebody's been reading the Bill Belichick books. Somebody is actually studying football now. So anyway, though, here are your top performers on offense. All right. Jordan Love, 90.4 with an 89.3 passing grade. Number 2, Josh Jacobs, 84.4. Christian Watson, 83.2. Luke Musgrave, 77.5. And that was on 21 snaps, by the way. Zach Tom, 77.3. Darian Kennard, only 6 snaps, but a 75. Continues to do that job really, really well. John Fitzpatrick, 30 snaps, 73.8. Bo Melton, 9 snaps, 71.0. Jaden Reed, 25 snaps, 69.1. And Chris Brooks, halfback, with 8 snaps, 67.3. So Nick McSwain says here in the chat, Love has the 3rd highest grade this year. Is crazy. He's improved so much. So what do you guys think about it? We got Jordan Love 1, Josh Jacobs 2, Christian Watson 3. I don't know what I'm more excited about, Jordan Love's grade or Christian Watson's grade. Tim, we'll start with you, man. Because, again, Christian Watson's on one right now, dude.
Yeah, I think I'm a little more excited about Scoot. His performance, just because I've expected it from Jordan. This, the way Jordan's playing football right now does not shock me. I'm not surprised at all. But with Scoot, and I'm not really surprised either. The only thing I'm surprised with is that, we really thought it may take him a while to get his game speed legs underneath him and kind of get acclimated to live ball again. And he just hit the ground running and continues to get better. It seems like every single week. So I'm definitely a little bit more excited about Scoot and the fact that, we're getting some of these weapons back. You know, we're working Matthew Golden back into the fold. We got Bird back on the field.
Bird.
It's going to be amazing. Shout out to Malik Heath. You're the latest addition to the Atlanta Falcons roster. I don't know if you guys picked up on that today. Malik Heath was scooped up off the practice squad by the Falcons today. So there's room. You know, there's some room in that receiver room. A little bit. There's a lot of talent in there, and I think when you see the way Christian's playing, like we talked about this morning, about the and in the post game about different route assignments and different lining up different in these sets, really being utilized in a different way. So yeah, definitely excited about the way Scoot's been playing.
Yeah. And Jacob, before you answer that question, let's hit the super chat. Howling Whataburger with a little bit of breaking news here. I just double checked this too. He said with the return of Phillip Rivers to the Colts has put the entirety of the AFC on notice. Broncos won't be able to sleep. Packers win by 20 plus Sunday. I just Googled it. And 17 minutes ago, NBC Sports, Phillip Rivers will visit and work out with the Colts on Tuesday. Phillip Rivers coming out of retirement potentially. I need this in my life, man. You kidding me?
Kay Adams already asked Matt Ryan if he was ready for a playoff run, and Matt Ryan was like, nah. And what? Phillip Rivers has been out of football for what, 2 years now?
Yeah.
So two seasons ago, he hung it up.
And I see multiple people in the chat. They don't want to believe it. That's NBC Sports, Sports Illustrated 22 minutes ago. Let's see if there's any other credible here. WTHR, which I think is a local news station, and USA Today. He's 44 years old.
Right. So working out tomorrow, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and pending a physical, obviously passing a physical. And you got to worry what kind of, or not worry, but you got to wonder what kind of, playing shape he's in after a couple of years away. But hey, we've seen quarterbacks well into their 40s light up defenses before. It wouldn't be the first time. And what other option does Indy have right now? They're down to their no string quarterback. They've lost 3 quarterbacks. So
yeah,
I mean, that or Jacob's going to have to go down there and work out, and we all know how that would turn out.
I got it. I could throw a football over that mountain, Tim. To their credit, I see a lot of people in the chat. Homie's got like 13 kids to feed, so he probably needs some money. We got to get him back in the league there. No, but all honesty, I mean, I love that guy. If you want to see some funny mic'd ups, watch Phillip Rivers talk smack to people to the point where the referee's like, dude, you're going to get hit if you don't stop. Like he literally... He will talk more smack in a nice way. He's got that Southern twang. I honestly love Phillip Rivers. Weirdest release I've ever seen in a football quarterback. He's got a very awkward arm angle. It doesn't seem like the ball should get where it's going there, but I don't know. Very, very interesting. Did not have that on my bingo card for sure.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so back to the PFF grades. Christian Watson, Jacob. Again, grading out really, really well here against the Chicago Bears, 83.2. His last 4 games, let's just go through all of his games real quick this year. 79, 65, 67, 82, 82, 79, 83. His PFF grade on the year, elite, 87.0 PFF grade for Christian Watson. This is unbelievable, man. It really is.
I don't think that anybody could have guessed that Christian Watson would come off the injury and perform the way that he did, unless you're maybe like an absolute homer. I know that Tim was a big fan of his. I know that myself. I'll even give a shout out to Ryan's kid, Colin. That was his favorite receiver that they took in the draft. I know that I was beside myself when we actually drafted him. I could not believe it because it just never seems to work out that way for Packers fans. Like, you got a guy, you want him to get drafted. All of a sudden it happened. He went through some adversity. I'll never forget the first time that he was, I believe it was against the Vikings, right? When Rodgers threw that just dime to him down the sidelines, right off the hands, right? And everybody said, oh, what a bust, blah, blah, blah. I went, not for Christian Watson. This dude is going to go back into the lab. He's going to put the mad scientist hat back on. He's going to come out stronger than before. And he really has. He has went through different adversity, whether it be, like I said, dropping the first pass, the first time you're on big time TV, having Aaron Rodgers give you that stare of death, which we all know. We've seen it, right? Him earning his respect back into that starting lineup. Him coming back after the injury where I thought, man, that could be, it could be a career ender. The way that he folded, and to the credit of Jalen Johnson, the fact that they were willing to show that kind of respect towards him, praying over him, you know what I mean? Like giving him that type of respect. like we've talked about, his dad's on Twitter. I love him personally. That's just my opinion. I think he's awesome. We've had his mother on the podcast, a very sweet and lovely lady. It takes a good parenting to raise a dude like Scoot. And he has just shown that he is a consummate pro. He understands that the game's not too big, not too small. He's just never gets his head. He's kind of like Jordan Love. I don't know how we end up kind of getting these same type of mentality dudes, which obviously I would think would be a testament to Goody and what they do. I mean, he's just a good person. And then the fact that he's an absolute freak of nature. I mean, you're not supposed to move like that when you're, what is he, 6'4", 6'5"? I think that he is absolutely putting the league on notice, and we've struggled with this back and forth of what's a wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. I think that Christian Watson is kind of starting to settle that for us, and enough talk is going to happen. I think that he's just absolutely showing up every single week. Like, what is he? Four? Wasn't it 4 targets, 4 catches, almost 80 some odd yards, and a couple tuds? Like, yeah, that'll do. That'll play.
Yeah, J. Cole in the chat says, can we lock him up for about 4 to 5 years? We can, but we got to wait 1 year from the extension he just signed. I think that's still in the rule book of the NFL. So they will be. I'm guaranteeing you they're going to be looking to do that as soon as they're free to do that. And it says a lot too about Watson and the fact that Christian was willing to take that prove it deal as opposed to going, no, I'm going to bet on myself and just wait. And I like that the Packers gave him a little bit of guaranteed money too. Like, okay, this will kind of protect you a little bit if things do go south. And obviously the injury's worse than we plan in terms of the rehab. So a 2-0 for this says, am I crazy, wrong, or insensitive to say that Watson tearing his ACL wasn't actually a bad thing? He came back better. There's many cases that you hear that the knee is stronger. Sometimes these guys are playing with stuff that's that's in there. It might be not necessarily a slight tear, but a little bit of a sprain here or there. And then all of a sudden it tears completely. You have to rebuild the thing. And when you rebuild, it actually comes back stronger. I was hearing, I think it was Robert Brooks talk about this from back in the day. And it was an interview this past summer. And they said he's still got metal wiring in his knee from where they redone his ACL. That's how far things have come. Obviously, that was a long, long time ago. But, yeah, it's medicine's come so far along. So I understand what you're saying, 2-0 for this, and I don't think it's insensitive. I think Christian would agree with you. I feel stronger than I did before. Because once you accept the fact that, no, that knee is actually stronger, right? You get that past that mindset of, crap, this thing's going to go on me again. It actually will hold up better than it did before. So, yeah.
Yep. I would say that that's fair. I would stop short of saying it's not a bad thing. Anytime a guy injures himself and misses a ton of football, it's a bad thing. But the fact that he's stronger, faster, better coming off of it is undisputed. And you're seeing that on the field, right? I mean, I remember we saw, right before camp started, we saw Scoot running around catching footballs, and we kind of blew our minds because we didn't anticipate him coming back into the fold until, maybe a week ago. This time of the year was our initial projections. And I think Scoot just grinded his ass off and, got ahead of schedule, got himself in shape, and he's now executing on the field, man.
Yeah, awesome. I love it. Our resident doc in the chat, Holmes MD, says it is true. There is less ligamentous. How Clayton, help me. Ligamentous laxity post repair.
Really good. Ask me.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
I did my best.
All right.
You're using those big words. Since I don't know what they mean, I'm going to be offended by it.
Doug in the chat said, my daughter tore her ACL in high school. If they use hamstring to recreate the new ACL, it does come back stronger. It's the cadaver grafts that are better. Man, y'all using those big words, dude. We got all these people in the chat that know all these medical terms and everything. All I got to say is
he is a G.
You go. All right. New drop, by the way. All right. So other PFF grades. We didn't talk about Josh Jacobs much there. 38 snaps. 84.4. Dude was playing outside of his mind. That is his best grade all year long. So he's playing his best football according to PFF. On the season, he's now up to an 85.7. So Josh Jacobs, man, can't say enough about him. We talked Jordan Love. Jordan Love now on the year up to an 89.9. This is Aaron Rodgers territory, guys. We might as well say it. We talked about it in the second half of 2023. He went on a run that Rodgers never even went on in the second half of 2023.
He's a grown-ass man now. And
it was the touchdown interception ratio was just unbelievable. The grades were off the charts. And then he comes back in 2024, gets hurt in week 1, battles through that injury all year long. And a portion of the fan base was ready to throw him back to the wayside, right? Oh, he ain't whatever. Now you're seeing that the back half of 2023 was Jordan Love. That is Jordan Love. It's just, it's really exciting, man, that we've hit on another stud quarterback back to back to back. Luke Musgrave, pleasant surprise with that 77.5. He's great on the season, still down pretty far, 56.3. But if you go off of the last 3 games of the season here, 25, 36, and 21 snaps, his PFF grade 74, 66, 77. So you're seeing that bar continue to raise for Luke, and I think it has a lot to do with how they're utilizing him and letting him play a little more out wide, run those deep crossers, run some of those deep corner routes. That's what he does well. I'm telling you, I would come out next year and actually I would go try to find another tight end to group with Tucker Kraft when he's healthy. And Josh Wiley might be that dude. He's looking like, they call him the motion man, is what Green Bay tweeted out earlier, which I absolutely love. So he may be the one to group with him. And let's start letting Musgrave run with the receivers. That's what I would like to see happen. So